And hello back again. As I said before, I look the same because I film all these videos in once. Oh, there's sun. Stupid. Yeah, I hope you already saw the first two vlogs or parts I made of my Lappland trip. If you didn't, look there, if I don't forget it, or in the description, and watch those. They were really good. We did some really amazing stuff. So watch those first and then come back to this one. So we are now at day 4 of our Lappland trip, and that was the Monday. So on Monday there was one plan. If you wanted, you could go to Norway, to Narvik, which is a little city in Narvik. It's on stupid sun. As I said, if you wanted, you could go to Narvik, which is a small little city on the sea. And the great part about the city is that because of the Gulf Stream, it's never frozen, so they have an all year round harbor, which is very important for the north. And actually from the mine I visited at the first day, they ship all their stuff from this harbor because they can ship all year round. So it's a pretty important city, but also a very small city. The problem was all the days before we didn't know if we could go because there's only one street through the mountains to Narvik, and there was a pretty big snowstorm, and during that the road was closed. So I think until 2 days beforehand the road was closed, so we were all hoping to go there, but no one knew if we could make it. Fortunately the road was open and we could go there. So we met, I think around 9, we met on the bus and then went there. Unfortunately, they have one picture stop on the mountains where you can see over the fjords and the mountains that was closed because still of the snow. But then we drove down to the water and had a picture stop there, and it was so beautiful. You could see the mountain and the water. The sun was just rising and was such amazing just to see it. It was my very first time in Norway, which was also exciting. I've never been before. I hope to go there again at some time this year because it's so pretty. Yeah, but first time in Norway and it was so nice. So we were at the picture stop for like, I think half an hour. Everyone took pictures. We took like a group picture and then we drove 15-20 minutes to get actually in the city. And I think there we had some different possibilities to do. There's like a war museum because it's a pretty important harbor. We could do some other stuff, but I'm pretty sure almost all of us went on a little hike with our tour guide. Half an hour up a hill, just normal streets, but because it was so cold, I think -10, it's so hard to just walk up a small hill. You wouldn't believe it, but we were exhausted. So we went up to this viewing point, and you had a great view over the harbor and the city and some water and some mountains. So pretty. And it was still sunset, so no sunrise. So pretty. Mega. Again, this city is so in the north and there are so many mountains around that they actually don't get the sun, so the sun doesn't come over the mountain. I think they said from September, October until May, something like that I think they said. So they don't actually see the sun for several months. And then in the summer they have like midnight sun, so the sun doesn't go down, so you have sun all day round, which is so crazy. But we were there at the depressing part where it's like 3 hours of daylight but without sun, and then it's dark and you feel like it's 9 o'clock in the evening and it's just 3 p.m. It's so crazy. So we talked to a few people from there and they said you pretty much get depressed there, or everyone's pretty much depressed because it's so dark all the time. Yeah, so we went to this little hike, went down again, and then there was some lunch included, which was burger, so you could choose between fish burger and vegetarian burger. Unfortunately, they had a mix-up or they had one fish burger too much. Me and my friend, we were both vegetarian, and we were the ones they was like, we only have one vegetarian burger left. And we were like, great, we're both vegans, or vegetarian vegans. We don't eat fish. So at the end we had to split it, and both of us got half of it and a little bit more fries. Which wasn't that great because the burger actually was really good, but yeah, who cares? So we had lunch there, and then we actually went up to the Scandic Hotel, which is I think like 16 floors, but it's by far the biggest building in the whole city. So we went there, and on the 16th floor they have a cafe with a pretty nice view, and because we were all so cold, we went there, drank some hot coffee and hot chocolate, and just looked out of the window at the so nice sunset at like 3. Oh, I think 2. Sunset at 2, yes. So we looked at the sunset, which was so pretty, and just talked a little bit. And then I think... Was ist da?
Da ist deutlich schöner.
Ja, dann die andere Seite.
Meine Instagram-Stories so auf jedes Bild. Kannst du bitte aufhören? Stop.
Yeah, we'll just order something. I don't have this reason.
I don't really... I think at 3 we met back on the bus, and then at 4 we were back home again. Something like that. Then... Again, we had something in the evening. We went to a sauna. We were 3 different groups. I was in the first group and we met at 4:45. So we went back, had like 45 minutes to get ready, and then we went to the sauna, which sauna for me, it's so terrible. I have asthma, and my asthma is pretty bad when it's humid. So I couldn't breathe in this damn sauna. I was in there, we were in the sauna for some time, and then typical Swedish, you go into usually it's a frozen lake, and you cut a hole in there and go in there. Our lake wasn't completely frozen, but it was so cold, so we went into the cold water, or you could go into the snow and roll around and then go back into the sauna. Which... I guess for people who like saunas, isn't that bad. For people who can't breathe in a sauna, is the most terrible thing ever. So I went into the sauna for a little bit until I felt like I would die because I couldn't breathe. Then I went into the lake for some time, then went back into the sauna for like a minute to get warm again. And then I was like, that's enough, I'm not dying in here. So yeah, I'm glad I did it, but nothing for me. I know all Scandinavian people love saunas. I hate them. I don't understand them. They're just terrible. Why would I sit in a hot room and sweat and... No, absolutely not. But yeah, as I said, I did it. That's enough for me. And so I went back into my room and I waited for the other ones. We made some dinner, ate something, and then we were hoping to see some northern lights again because the forecast was really good. But unfortunately, pretty much there were no clouds except for the area where you could see the northern lights, which was like so terrible. So me and another girl, I think we were waiting there for like 2 hours, 1.5 hours in the cold, but there were just more and more clouds coming. And this time I had my camera, I had everything. I was so prepared, but of course, if you're prepared, you don't see them. Which sucked a little bit, but at the same time, we saw them at least once. That was all we pretty much wanted. So we were out there for some time, then we were just freezing cold, went back inside and went to bed. The cool part actually was, it was very snowy, so the light from the moon, at the beginning there was no clouds in front of the moon, so it was so light outside. It was crazy. You could see everything. Then on our way back there were clouds in front of the moon and it was just dark. You couldn't see anything. That's so crazy. And that was the 4th day. 5th day? 4th day. 4th.